We all go to work like 5 to 6 days in a week with the intention to do our best, to make a difference, to learn something new, contribute to the organizational's growth. However, our version of doing our very best might differ from our bosses, and that's when annual appraisals or reviews come in. And these annual appraisals or reviews that happen on an annual basis, they're very important for our career growth. It's a platform to discuss what have we achieved in the entire year, what were the challenges that we faced, what are my future goals in the next year, what am I planning to keep as a target for myself or as a goal for myself. And we discuss all of this with our leaders or with our managers, our immediate reporting heads. And that's the reason a very well-prepared review can be the key to negotiate promotions, your bonuses, your salary rise. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sonia, your host and companion on Thinking Out Loud Thursdays. And today we're going to be talking about annual appraisals and reviews. And what are you supposed to do when your annual appraisal is just about around the corner and you have to now be ready to face that annual appraisal. So let's get started with today's topic. But before that, please consider subscribing to my channel, as every Thursday I bring episodes which will add value to your career growth, which will add value to you as a professional. So let's get started. Grab your cups of coffee and let's start the episode. Now, the whole year we've been working. There were targets given, there are some roles and responsibilities that we have, and whole year we have shown our dedication, we've been loyal, we've been very transparent, we have helped people, we've collaborated with our team members, and now after 12 months of your hard work or 11 months of your hard work, now is a chance for you to see where is your career moving within the organization or how is your role moving ahead in the organization. So appraisals are mostly reality checks, because this is a point where you are going to be seeing whether you are meeting the expectations that have been set by your managers, by the leaders or by the organization, and even the expectations that you have set for yourself as an employee or within the role that you have been allocated by the organization or the role that was given to you by the organization. And it's a platform also to see how far have you come along in the organization. Have you improved in certain areas? Have you improved as a professional or as an employee within the company? For doing a very productive appraisal, you need to prepare in advance. It cannot be, I see a lot of people, appraisal is coming and they're running helter-skelter as to, figuring it out from January or from April till March, what was the things that we've done throughout the year. And then that takes a lot of time and takes a toll on you. And in that hurry to figure out, what all have you done throughout the year, you actually miss out on discussing the primary things that are required during the appraisal interview, because you're so busy collecting all your data that, there are chances you will miss out on some of the key elements that you should be discussing during your appraisal. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how to go about preparing for your appraisal so that it helps you in your next appraisal round that you're going to have with your managers. Because you need to be ready for very tough questions. You need to show your efforts and the achievements that you've made. Because at the end of the day, you just don't want a pat on your back. You want more than just a pat on your back, right? You want a promotion or you want a salary rise. If you want that, then let me share with you some of the things that you can do to make your appraisal more productive and more meaningful. So first thing what you need to do is start very early on. I see a lot of people, they are not very organized in terms of at the end of every month, they will not figure out, okay, fine, what were the things that we did. If there is a monthly meeting happening, you will only prepare for that monthly meeting and you'll prepare a document, give it. But at the end of the year, when you have to collate all the data, it's helter-skelter somewhere in your system, it's there, but it's going to take you time to figure out that document. I think you need to start very early on. And the best thing what you can do is Every month, at the end of every month, please see how far have you come. Did you achieve your targets? What was the goal that you set for yourself? Is there something new that you learned? If you faced any challenges, then how did you overcome those challenges? If there was some problem that you faced, did you solve that problem or not? So I think start very early. Start making a document or a spreadsheet or a presentation where at the end of every month, please put down all your thoughts as to what happened in that month and how did it go for you. Mention all the tasks that you've completed, all the challenges that you faced. What did you achieve in that month? Any projects that you started or finished? Any customer who gave you some good words in terms of your behavior or how you helped that customer? So if there is any testimonial of the customers or even your team members or colleagues, include those testimonials as well. But please start preparing for your appraisals well in advance. It'll be much easier if at the end of every month you treat it as that this is an appraisal for my month. So I'm just going to prepare all of that and keep it ready. And the other thing what you can do is revisit your last year performance appraisal. See what were the initiatives that you had taken last year. Any suggestions that were made by your manager, have you fulfilled those suggestions? Have you followed on those suggestions? Any feedback that was given to you? Have you started working on whatever was the feedback given to you by your managers? So look at your last year appraisal and see how far have you come, because that will give you a lot of insight into your this year's performance. Because you have something now to compare to. You don't have to compare to last 5 years appraisals, but yes, immediately look at what was your last year appraisal. How did you perform? What were the suggestions made by your manager? Any new task that was given to you, feedback, or have you actually started implementing things basis what was suggested in your last appraisal? By chance you were not able to do so, then please be ready with your why you were not able to do that. See, appraisals are not an opportunity just to discuss your strengths, what are the good things that you did, but it's also a platform to see where you went wrong. What were the challenges that you faced? Is there some weakness that you have to still improve? Are there areas that you have to still grow or improve yourself? So please be prepared for discussing both your strengths and weaknesses, because it's going to give you a very balanced view of how your year went by. And here you need to be very, very honest, be proactive, and start looking at, how did you respond to certain challenges that came? Look at how did you utilize your problem solving skills to resolve an issue that you faced during the year. Maybe in a particular month that you faced that the customer, you suddenly started having a lot of customer complaint. How did you resolve that issue? So please figure out if there were some obstacles or challenges, how did you resolve that? Because that's going to show your problem solving skills. Identify areas that you would like to grow and how will you handle that. Now, along with this, you don't want to be very vague. So what you need to do is start collating some data and documents so that you're very specific when you're discussing it with your managers. And you have some tangible proof in form of any presentation, any testimonials, any statistics, or say, for example, whatever is the project that you did, you saw that because of that campaign, there was a 15% increase in the website traffic, or because of the lead campaign that you did. So the qualified leads, there was a jump of 25% of qualified leads, and hence the closures, the sales team were able to close better. So you saw that the closure rate increased from last year 7%. Now it has jumped to about 15% or 20%. So you'll have some data to substantiate that whatever work that you did, how it helped the team and how it helped the organization to move forward. And if you don't have this data or documents, then you'll not be able to prove what are you saying. Because at that time, when you're doing this meeting with your manager, you really cannot open your laptop and say, okay, fine, sir, I'll show you this file. If you have a PowerPoint presentation ready before you enter that meeting, then all you have to do is maybe you can take a printout of that presentation. You can just give a handout to your manager to say, sir, I've prepared this for my appraisal meeting. Or what you can just say is when you walk in, you can say, sir, I've made a presentation. I would like to take you through my yearly what all things I've done. And that will also give your managers a good feeling about about that, okay, fine, my team member is so serious and they are ready to show me as to what all things have happened. It's not like your manager is not aware of it, but all these little things, they make a lot of difference. Because if your manager, say for example, forgot about certain things, it's a good refresher for them as well, that okay, fine, that you achieved so much in this entire year. Also look at, if there were any new certifications that you did, any courses that you've done, any trainings that you underwent, please include that as well. With this, you can also look at what are market trends in terms of salaries for the particular roles, or for a 5 years of experience working in as a marketing manager, what is the salary bracket as per the market. You could even look at some market trends so that you have some figure in mind when you are going to be negotiating for your salary rise. You can look at if there were any additional responsibilities given to you, say middle of the year you were given an additional project, or you were asked to handle a particular department along with whatever work that you have on your plate. So you handled additional responsibility, but you were still able to meet your goals or your targets. That is a very strong case for you to put forward to seek for a salary raise or a promotion that you're wanting. At the end of the day, no matter what you've decided, no matter what, at the end of the day, no matter what you've decided, the manager will have some thoughts in his mind, and he'll probably have a particular figure in mind. Okay, fine, I'm going to give you say 5% increase in salary, or 10% or 20% or 25%. Now you must be having a particular figure in mind that I am, basis whatever I've performed, I would like to have say a 20% increase in my salary. But maybe the management is going through some financial crunch, or they are not looking at giving financial increase to any of their employees. In lieu, they are just waiting that okay, fine, there is some projects, some sanctions that they're waiting for, or some new projects that they're waiting for it to start, and then they're thinking, okay, fine, we'll give the salary rise. But currently in the appraisals, we're not looking at giving too much of a salary rise. Now there is a difference, right? You are thinking here and the management is thinking somewhere here. So how do you bridge that? And that is where your negotiation will come into place. So be prepared to negotiate with your managers or your leaders. You don't have to feel shy. You don't have to feel uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, you really worked very hard throughout the year. And if you feel whatever is the manager offering you as a annual appraisal, any marks that he is giving you, any grades that he is giving you, and you're not very happy with it, then please be ready to negotiate. And negotiation doesn't mean that you have to literally, be on top of your voice and start being rude. No, you have to be professional. You have to be very calm, be confident, because you have achieved, you have fulfilled your duties. So there's nothing to worry about. So be confident, be calm, try to reason out with your manager as to why is he giving you a particular grade or a particular marking as your annual appraisal, because that's going to also decide how far are you going to be going in the coming years within the organization. How far is your role going to be expanding within the organization? Always have a backup plan. Like for example, you could seek for increased conveyance allowance, some training programs for your growth, or an opportunity to continue your further studies along with working, or some flexible working hours, or being allocated some additional resources that help you in your work. So figure out what is your backup plan. If this doesn't work out, is there something else that you can negotiate for? Would you like to take on some responsibility that will see you in leadership roles in the future? So for example, if the companies are having some financial crisis and they're not able to give you an increase in the salary, so you can say is that if raise is not possible, I'd like to discuss other ways of expanding my role within the organization, which will support my growth here. Now, it's very simple. You also told them, okay, fine, the company is going through some financial crisis, hence you're not able to give me a raise, but I'd like to discuss other opportunities or any other areas where I can add value to myself and I can grow as a professional in the future within the company. While you're doing all of this, Please be ready for feedback. Any coaching that is being given to you by the managers, any feedback that is coming, please be open-minded. And during this time, please seek for specific feedback. If your manager is telling you a very vague feedback as to, you're not good in your presentation skills or you're not good in your communication, that's a very vague feedback. So you need to ask, which are the areas I need to improve my communication, or where in my presentation do you feel is the area that I need to improve upon, so that you get clarity. You don't go back to your cabin thinking that, feedback was given, but I don't know which specific areas my manager is looking that I should improve myself. So please seek for clarity, be very specific. Ask questions to gain clarity, because it's a two-way communication. Appraisals are not that only the leaders will tell you, okay, fine, this you did well, this you didn't do well, and this is what your marking I'm giving you. It's always a two-way communication. There's a lot of discussion happens. And if you have questions, please get clarity of those questions. If there are any questions that are asked you, then please respond positively. If your leaders are asking you, or if a manager is asking you some questions, please respond positively. And this leads me to my last point that I want to share with you for your annual appraisals. Always end your appraisals on a good note. Summarize what were the key points that you've discussed. What are the next steps that you're going to take? And show that you have complete clarity as to, what is your next whole year looking like. Or what is it that the company is expecting from you, and you're very comfortable with whatever is being discussed. And even if you're not very happy with whatever is the appraisal, how the meeting went, but at least, you got some clarity, you know what's happening around you, you know what are the goals that you've agreed with your manager, what are the actionable items. It's very important not to leave the meeting on a grudge, or, you just say that this manager is never happy with me. I don't know why he never gives me a good appraisal. Instead of carrying the grudges with you, please leave the meeting on a good note, seek clarity, ask a lot of questions, and always at the end, thank the manager for the time that he's taken or she's taken to meet up with you, to discuss with you how your year went by, and for coaching and giving the feedback. So please thank the manager. It's always nice. I'd like to just end this episode by saying that be prepared well in advance for your appraisals. Document everything, have some data points ready, be prepared to negotiate, have a backup plan, and always end on a positive note. With the right approach, the performance appraisal can be a step towards your growth. With this, we come to the end of our episode, and I really hope that you found value. And if there's anything else that you would like to add, please leave a comment for me. And if there's any other topic that you feel that I should be making a content on that, or I should be making episode on it, please leave a comment, or you could get in touch with me. My email ID is mentioned on the screen. Thank you for watching me. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you've still not done so. I'm going to see you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.